Om Shanti, English Avyakt versions, 30 May 1971. Headline: The Father's Order and Promise. The Father's Order and Promise. Bapdada gives an order and also makes a promise, in which elevated versions are both an order and a promise included. Can you remember such elevated versions in which both an order and a promise are included? There are many such elevated versions. There is a long list of them. However, these elevated versions have a temptation. If you take one step forward, Bapdada will take 1,000 steps forward, not just 10 steps. Such versions have the order that you should take one step forward, and they also have the promise that Bapdada will take 1,000 steps forward. You should constantly keep in your consciousness such elevated versions, which bring zeal and enthusiasm. By obeying the order, you can easily make yourself move forward. Because when Baba fulfills his promise, the promise then takes on the form of help. First is your own courage, and secondly, you receive help. When you have both, everything becomes easy. This is why you should constantly keep such elevated versions in your consciousness. This consciousness brings you power. For instance, when those who were Rajput, caste of warrior kings, went on to a battlefield, no matter how weak they were reminded of their claim. Rajputs are like this, they used to be like this, this is what they used to do, and you belong to such a clan. When they were reminded of this, they became powerful. Simply by listening to the praise of their clan, they themselves become as great. In the same way, you belong to the Sun dynasty. What were those who ruled the Sun dynasty kingdom? How did they rule the kingdom? On the basis of which power did they rule their kingdom? This awareness and at the same time the awareness of the godly clan of the confluence age. If you have the awareness of both of these in your intellect, you receive power. Simply on the basis of this awareness, it becomes easy with this power to oppose Maya. So what is the method to attain success in every task? First of all, take power into yourself through the awareness and then carry out the task. Then no matter how weak you may be, you will become powerful for that time on the basis of the awareness. Even though someone may not consider himself to be worthy of that task at that time, through having the awareness, he will see himself as worthy of it and will have zeal and enthusiasm in the future. So before carrying out all task, first of all, have the consciousness of this godly claim and also that of the future. And by having the consciousness of both of these, you will not remain weak. If you are not weak, you would not become unsuccessful. The reason for being unsuccessful is that you are weak. When you collect power by having the awareness, any lack of power, that is weakness, is finished. You cannot then be unsuccessful. Therefore, in order to become a constant image of success, make your consciousness powerful, and you yourself will then become an embodiment. As is your consciousness, so you will experience your form. If you have the consciousness of being a Shakti, you are able to face anything as an embodiment of Shakti power. If you have the consciousness of being an effort maker, and that you will try and see, your form will become weak. Therefore, by making your consciousness powerful, your form will also become powerful. So this is the method of success. Then you will not be able to say, why am I not able to do something even though I wish to do it? Together with the wish for something, you also need power, and you receive power by having the awareness. If your awareness is weak, then the thoughts you have do not become practical, and whatever actions you perform are not successful either. Is it easy or difficult to maintain your consciousness? Whatever is done easily can be done constantly. Even if you do have constant awareness, one is ordinary awareness and the other is powerful awareness. You do have awareness in an ordinary way, but you should have powerful awareness. A judge has the awareness of being a judge throughout the day. However, at the time when he is sitting on his seat, This awareness of being a judge is more powerful than the awareness throughout the rest of the day. So, by remaining engaged in your duty, that is, in your task, you are able to have a powerful awareness. Otherwise, if you have an ordinary awareness, you also remain in an ordinary awareness. However, for how long are you able to have the powerful awareness through which you become an embodiment and through which you receive success? You are practicing this, are you not? Constantly consider yourself to be on godly service. You may be doing physical service, but even then, consider yourself to be on godly service. Even though you may be preparing food, which is a physical task, to fill that with godly sanskars and to make the food powerful is godly service. It is said, as the food, so the mind. So only if you have a divine form at the time of preparing food, will the food give that effect to the mind. Even though you may be doing the physical work of preparing food, you are still so only if you have a divine form at the time of preparing food, will the food give that effect of the mind. Even though you may be preparing food, which is the physical task, to fill that with godly sanskars and to make the food powerful is godly service. It is said, as the food, so the mind. So only if you have a divine form at the time of preparing food, will the food give that effect to the mind. Even though you may be doing the physical work of preparing food, you are still on godly service. You even write on godly service only. What is the meaning of that? We are constantly godly children just for this task. Although that is a physical task, I am still constantly on godly service. As long as I have this godly birth, every second, every thought, and every task are for godly service. Those people sit on their seat for a short time and do their own service, but it is not the same for you. No matter where you may be, you must have the awareness of being on service. Then no weakness can come to you. When you leave the seat of your service, you are not able to set your stage. You should not leave your seat. You have intoxication when you sit on your seat. If you are constantly sitting on the seat of your position, would you not have the intoxication? Why do you leave your seat and your position? Do you get tired? It is just as you have shown in the pictures of a king. First, he has two crowns, and then Ravan takes one crown away from behind him. Does this happen now? Does Maya come from behind and take you away from your position? Maya will now come to give you regard and take leave. She should not come in any other form now. Just now she will come just to take leave. Just as you show in the drama the Iron Age taking leave and going away, so Maya comes not in order to battle with you, but to take leave from all of you in a practical way. All of you have now come away from battling with Maya, have you not? If you battle with Maya even now, when would you experience supersensuous joy? You have to experience that now. You experience your future, you experience your fortune of the kingdom in the future, but you have to experience supersensuous happiness now. You are not able to have this experience when you battle with Maya. Having become the Father's children, if you do not experience supersensuous happiness at the present time, what have you done? A child means one who has the right to the inheritance. So always check whether you constantly attain the elevated inheritance of supersensuous happiness of the confluence age. If you only attain it for a short time, what is the difference? You have become the Father's child in order to have attainment for all time. So why is there only the experience for a temporary period? You should have an unbroken, unshakable experience of this. Only then will you be able to claim the unbreakable, immovable kingdom. So is it unbreakable, or does it break now and again? So why is there only the experience for a temporary period? You should have an unbroken, unshakable experience of this. Only then will you be able to claim the unbreakable, immovable kingdom. So, is it unbreakable or does it become now and again? Which would look nicer? Something that has been broken and then put together, or something that is not broken at all? That which is unbroken is better. So, this supersensuous happiness should also be unbroken and unshakable. Only then should you consider yourself to have a right to the Father's inheritance. If it is not unbroken and unshakable, what should you consider it? Not that you have claimed the right for just a little inheritance, but that you have attained it as a little donation or in charity, and that you only attain it sometimes. An inheritance is always your own attainment, whereas a donation or charity is a temporary attainment. You are heirs, and so the sign of an heir is that he has the right to the inheritance of supersensuous happiness. A father wills everything to their heir. He will make those who are not heirs happy by just giving them a little. The Father wills everything to heirs. Those who are not heirs will be given a little and made happy. The Father is willing everything to you fully. What is the visible sign of those who have a full right to Baba's will? They have willpower. Their every thought is filled with willpower. If you have willpower, you can never be unsuccessful. If you haven't claimed the right to the full will, you do not have complete willpower. You need to have a very broad, unlimited intellect in order to make Baba's property and prosperity your own property. How will you make the Father's property your own? The more you make it your own, the more intoxication and happiness you will have. So, what is the method to make the Father's property your own? Or do you wish the Father's property to remain the Father's? Some gave their own ideas. The Lord was pleased with those who had an honest heart, and this is why He gave them His property. He gave His property now. There is just the question of making it your own. You can only do the service and give donations when you have made the property your own. To the extent that you have the property, you will accordingly be able to donate to others and or be able to serve others with intoxication. However, the question is how to make it your own. Once it becomes yours, it can increase when you give to others. This is the final outcome. But how will you first make it your own? By churning the treasures you receive, you merge them within yourself. There will be willpower in the words of those who churn. Why is there the experience of power when some people speak? Everyone listens together. Everyone receives the same property at the same time. So what happens to those who churn and make the property given to them their own? There is the saying, grind your own ingredients and you will experience intoxication. At the present time, you simply have the practice of repeating. You lack the practice of churning. To the extent that you churn, that is, the more you make the property your own, then more intoxication you will have. When you tell the knowledge to anyone with intoxication, they will also experience intoxication. Otherwise, they do not have that intoxication, but they just become devotees and sing praise. They do not become intoxicated. So you must imbibe the practice of churning. Then you will constantly be seen as those who are intoxicated with their own intoxication, and then nothing of this world or no problem will attract you, because you will be lost in the intoxication of your own mind. The day that you are lost in churning, Maya will not oppose you, because you will remain busy. If someone is busy and another person comes, he goes away, just as those people go underground. When you churn, that is, when you go inwards, you also go underground. When they go underground, they are not affected by the bombs outside in the safe way. When they go underground, they are not affected by the bombs outside. In the same way, by being busy in churning, by being introverted, you will not be disturbed by the things outside. You will stay away from body consciousness, just as when someone is absent from his seat and others go away from it. So when you leave your seat of body consciousness by being busy in journey, that is why your own being introverted Maya goes away, because you are introverted. That is, you are underground. Nowadays people do many things underground for their own safety. So this introversion is also an instrument for your safety. That is, you remain underground from body consciousness. You like being underground. Those who do not have this practice remain there for a short time and then become extroverted again, because they have had the sanskars of being extroverted for many births and are therefore not able to remain introverted for long. However, you constantly have to remain introverted. Acha.